The shape of us. Sarah and Amina had been inseparable since the days of finger paints and sandbox kingdoms. They were like two halves of a molded heart, different in texture but belonging to the same craft. In their small town, you rarely saw one without the other, their laughter ringing out like bells across the playground. They shared everything: secrets, snacks, and a deep love for creating things with their hands. As they turned 12, their shared hobby of pottery moved from messy mud pies to the local studio's spinning wheels. Sarah had a natural grace with the clay. Under her touch, a gray lump transformed into a slender vase, or a delicate bowl as if by magic. Amina watched her friend with a mix of genuine awe and a growing, heavy feeling in her chest that she didn't quite have a name for yet. Amina's own creations felt stubborn. Her pots were often thick-walled and lumpy, leaning to one side like they were tired of trying. She loved the feel of the earth between her fingers, but every time she looked over at Sarah's perfect rows of drying ceramics, she felt a sharp green sting. It was a prickle of envy that made her feel small, making her wonder why things came so easily to her best friend. The announcement of the Young Makers Gala changed the atmosphere in the studio. There was a grand prize for the most expressive piece. While Sarah began planning an ambitious sculpture of a soaring bird, Amina felt a desperate need to finally outshine her friend. She wanted to feel the spotlight just once, to be the one everyone gathered around to admire. For weeks, they worked in a silence that grew increasingly chilly. Sarah was lost in the intricate feathers of her clay phoenix, her fingers dancing over the surface to create textures of flame. Amina tried to mimic the style, but her clay kept cracking. The more she focused on what Sarah was doing, the less she could see the beauty in her own work. Love was being buried under a mountain of comparison. One afternoon, the envy boiled over. Amina watched as a teacher praised Sarah's phoenix, calling it a masterpiece in the making. When the teacher left, Amina walked past Sarah's table. In a moment of clumsy frustration, or perhaps something darker, Amina's sleeve caught the edge of the phoenix's delicate wing. With a sickening thud, the sculpture tipped and hit the floor, shattering into dry gray shards. Sarah stared at the floor, her eyes filling with tears. She didn't scream or get angry. She just looked at Amina, and for the first time, Amina saw the true cost of her jealousy. Sarah hadn't been trying to show off. She had just been sharing her heart. The sight of Sarah's trembling lip made the green sting in Amina's chest turn into a heavy, cold stone of guilt. "I'm so sorry," Amina whispered, the weight of her envy finally crushing her. She realized that her desire to win had blinded her to the person she loved most. She knelt beside Sarah, the shards of the phoenix cold against her knees. "I was jealous, Sarah. I wanted to be as good as you, and I let it turn me into someone I don't recognize." Sarah wiped her eyes and took a deep breath. She reached out and picked up a large, smooth shard of the wing. "It was just clay, Amina," she said softly. "But the way you've been looking at me lately, that's what really hurt." They sat on the studio floor for a long time, talking about the pressure they both felt. Amina's fear of being ordinary, and Sarah's fear that her talent was creating a wall between them. They didn't win the gala that year, because they didn't finish two separate pieces. Instead, they submitted one joint sculpture, two figures carved from the same block of earth, their hands joined to hold up a small, soaring heart. It wasn't perfect, and it was a bit lumpy in places, but it was theirs. They learned that friendship isn't about being the best. It's about making something beautiful together out of the mess.